Hi there. So I will go through and kind of show how to make a PowerPoint if one of your assignments requires you to do so. The very first step would be to have Microsoft Office downloaded. If you don't have that already, you should download that from your student email. You do not need to pay for Microsoft Office. You get it for free as a student. But you'll need to have Office downloaded and installed on your computer before we can continue. Once you have PowerPoint all installed, the quickest way that I locate my PowerPoint on my computer is just searching for it. So if you have a newer Windows computer, there's a little search bar here at the bottom. If you have an older Windows, there should be a search function in your Windows Start menu. So if you click on that icon, there should be a search here. But on my computer, I have it down here at the bottom. So I will just start typing in PowerPoint, and this PowerPoint 2016 will come up. That's what we want to open. Now, you can be as creative as you want with PowerPoint. PowerPoint is nice. They give you a lot of options of nice kind of clean, crisp, easy designs. In most cases it doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want. I'll just use a pretty basic one. Go ahead and click create. So for this example, I will use a geography example. So I'm going to go ahead and go to content, and then I know what's in the first unit, and it is this graded assignment project. So whenever you see this icon here, that means that this is an assignment where you'll need to upload something. That may either be a worksheet that your teacher assigns you to do, a part 2 in like a math test. It could be a Microsoft Word document, an essay, something you write for language arts or English. And in this case, for geography, it is a PowerPoint. So it's important to, before clicking on the graded assignment, you look before that to see if there are instructions, because you want to know what you're making a PowerPoint about. So in geography, there are always slides before it. This icon, remember, means slides or materials. It's kind of like your online textbook. And geography ones always say learn, project, and then whatever the name of the project is. So this one's natural hazards. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to tell me exactly what to do for this project. So when I read through here, it says create a presentation. Presentation is PowerPoint. It says to select one of the following hazards. That's here. And then it tells you to create a multimedia presentation or PowerPoint explaining how and why the natural hazard you selected occurs in nature. So these questions that are listed both here and here are things that I should be answering in my presentation. It also says to provide examples, including images, graphics, and audio, which is optional. If you really want to go for it, you could put audio in. I probably won't for this example. And then discussing one significant historical event. If you scroll down, you can see that the structure for the presentation is exactly what is listed here. So it tells you the number of slides and the required content. So there should only be one slide that has the title of your presentation, so like the name of the hazard, your name, the date. Next part, 1 to 3 slides about describing the natural hazard. 1 to 3 slides describing where it typically occurs, etc., etc. You get the point. So it tells you exactly how many slides you should have for kind of each section. You should also have a reference slide, so this should be a list of anything that you used for your information or graphics. Your teacher expects you not to know everything about the hazard, but to research it. And so part of that research is documenting where you found things. So the listing has to have the name of the website, the actual URL where you found it, and then the date that you accessed it. And then all slides should have one graphic per slide to illustrate what you discuss on that slide. Images of the hazard, damages, rebuilding, informational graphics, so like a graph of some sort. That just makes the presentation look a little bit better. Presentations are nice because it's not just reading an essay. It's a nice way of having an interactive presentation showing you exactly all the information that you need, but it's not necessarily in paper form, which can be nice. So for this example, I'm just going to pick this top option. So I'll do tornado. Like, you can do anything that you want. I'll go back to the rubric, says for the first slide, it needs to have the title of the presentation, your name, and the date. So I'm just going to do tornadoes. And then my name, and then the date today. So that's all you need for this first slide. You can make it creative if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay? So to get more slides, I am going to click on New Slide up here, and you could choose what kind of slide you want to put in. For these next parts where I'm answering those specific questions, I'm probably just going to do title and content. So when I click that, I have my next slide ready to go. So I'm going to go back and reference exactly what the next slide I need is. And it's the first slide of describe the natural hazard you selected. So I'm going to put description of a tornado. You could be as creative as you want with it, or you could just be literal. Does not matter. The next step here will be to find information. It says give a basic description of how the natural hazard functions. So just going to open up Google here, and I'm literally going to search what is a tornado. Okay. Doing this, I could probably find a pretty good website to go to that will give me lots of information about tornadoes. So I'm just going to click on this very first one, see what it tells me. Looks like it tells me some pretty good information here. It tells me what a tornado is, tells me kind of some other facts about tornadoes, and I can use some of this information later. This would be a good website to use. It has pictures on here for me, gives me a lot of examples here. But basically how I did that is I just literally put into Google a question that I had, what is a tornado? So to save us time for this video, I went ahead and made this slide. So I included the two things that the rubric asked for, a description of the tornado and what the tornado is caused by. So this first part, I just described what it is, what it looks like, and then I described how it was caused. That's really all you need for that. I can also put a picture in here. So I'm just going to take the picture right from this website. And what you can do is you can right click on your mouse, and I'm just going to click copy image. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint, and I'm going to right click in here and see this. It looks like a clipboard with a little picture icon on it, and if you hold it over long enough, it'll show you what exactly you're pasting. Go ahead and click that, and you have your picture on here. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little smaller. Put it right on the page. Okay? Easy. Now we can work on the next one. So if you like the way that slide looked, you can go ahead, go back up here. Oh, you can't see that very well. To new slide. Click down on that arrow. And what I did here was title and content. You could also do section header to content comparison. You could do whatever you want. You could just play around with it and see what types of formats you like. I'll go ahead and zoom by and hit the next requirement, and then I'll go through it once I am done with it. So the next section that I'm answering is describe where the natural hazard typically occurs. Um, so I went ahead and kind of filled that out. I also want you to notice that I'm not copying and pasting information from the website. I am reading it and rewording it in my own words. So this is what I wrote for this section, and I found it from that same website that we were looking at. And I read this paragraph and just reworded it. What you do not want to do is just copy and paste this into the PowerPoint. It's really easy for teachers to see if you do that, so just don't do it. It's easy to just reword things a little bit, switch some things around in the sentence, make it sound like your own writing, because the teacher wants to see that you learn something, right? We know that you could just copy and paste. That's a skill that you learn in elementary school, right? It's the skill of reading something and learning from it. So that's what I did here. I luckily had this information on the same website that we've been using before. But for this section, I could have Googled quite literally, where do tornadoes occur? So I will just do an example of that. Let me move this up here. I'm going to go ahead and go to Google, and I'm going to write, where do tornadoes occur? And then this gives me a lot of other websites to look at. And I could have used this website as well. What I do want to have you kind of get practicing is keeping these tabs up. So if you use something in your PowerPoint, save where the link was, because as we saw before, we do have to have a slide with all of those references in it as well. Okay, so that's why I'm going to save this tab so I can use it later. But this one gives us even more information about where tornadoes occur, so I'll just put that in quick. Ta-da! So I added that last part too, of where else tornadoes occur, if you want to look that up. So what you can keep doing is just putting in new slides, checking out the rubric, and kind of marking off what you are completing with each slide. So in this example, we're already to this third point that we're going to hit. So I hope that this helped you know a little bit more about what to use PowerPoint for. There's a lot of different things on here. If I move this up, there's lots of buttons up here, and I get it. But you can be just as easy as just adding in information, a picture on every slide, and that's all you need. You don't need all of this other stuff. Okay? So remember, when we're all done with it, you'll want to file, save as, this PC, and you're going to want to save the presentation as whatever the name of the assignment is. So if I go back here, the name of this assignment is 1.04. So that's how I'm going to save it. So 1.04 graded assignment. You always want to put your name in it because when your teacher downloads the PowerPoint, sometimes it's hard to know whose is whose. Save it, and then you will go back to upload it. So I'll just show you that quick. Click on that icon where it looks like that blue box again. You'll click upload. You'll find where you saved it. I saved it right here. Open. And then you'll want to click submit. Okay. Thank you. Hope that helped.